June 10th, 9:29 p.m. It is Monday, 2024. All right, we see how this goes. Every time I do videos, they hijack me. Then I go to edit the video, and they re-affect me with the same technology effects. When they affect me in video, I make mental notes about this. I take little mental snapshots. Then when I go to edit the video, I'm looking for where I've been affected. Of course, I got affected in video. It means I've got to look at what they've done here and figure out what they're up to. It always involves affecting me for selling viewpoints which they want people believing. The problem is, what they have people believing has nothing to do with me. I'm quite literally affected for tricking people into false perceptions and about me. Bottom line, that is it. And it's the same thing with my ex, and I can't really say my daughter, but she also got affected very much. So I'm going to do this with Alex and Patrick in mind, and we see how this video goes. Again, what they've been doing is just hijacking me. And when I go to edit the videos, they get me to leave in the technology effects. So I end up editing the video 3 times. I've done it yet again 3 times, and I realize I've got to edit stuff out. And the way that works is they stop affecting me, or what happens is every time I go to edit it, I have this marker. Okay, I've got to remove this. And then when I go to remove it, they just affect me all over again and get me to leave it in. They want it left in for a reason. And the thing is, then I'm noting them affecting me when I edit the video. So I know I've got to remove it. Then they'll do some kind of trick here, wipe my memory or whatever, and then I'll post it. But then I'm waiting yet again. I'm like, there's something wrong with the video. And I know there's something wrong with the video because they've affected me every time I've tried editing it. You get it? You make mental markers about being affected. So I have this video up, but you could very easily get the wrong idea about me and where I am coming from. A couple of times in the video, just based on one point. Hang on. You see, at the beginning of that video, I had just a video clip about 4 minutes long from the video I did. I put it at the beginning. And I'm saying there's something wrong with people's perceptions if they don't realize they should be interviewing me here. And wow, that just comes across as like I'm clueless and arrogant and egotistical as shit. That's not actually where I was coming from. The point is they affected me for this. Normally I would not state things that way because I already get how that would come across to people. It had to do with them affecting me. The point is, see, here they go. Now they're just wiping my memory. You see, I go through this shit every single video, and people don't know it. I just ignore it all. I make mental notes about all of it, but I just try and fight through it. My focus is on trying to fight through the technology. You don't see what's going on up here. It's shitloads. It's like World War III in my head just to speak normal English. Hello? Yeah, the entire point here is the FBI's been lying about my psychology. They have a false psychological template, and then they take any situation, anything I say, and they quite literally lie about it to make it fit the false psychology, the false psychological template. That's exactly what they do. And then this is how they program everybody. They make everybody see this false psychology in everything I do, and it doesn't even exist. So there was no way I was going to leave this in the video. So, and it's in there twice at the very beginning, which just puts people off from wanting to look at the video. And then it's within the video itself much later, because it's a clip from the video I did. And it just gives the wrong impression. So let me explain this real quick. Maybe I put that video link, I'll have it unlisted and just put it in the video description below. Maybe we do it that way. You know, in other words, you find out the story, then you understand when you look at that video. They've been passing off quite deliberately just a fantastical, cheap psychology in regards to me. They've turned me into a cartoon character, and then they have people believing the cartoon character. So I got to thinking about it, and one of the things I think they sold to alternative media is that where I'm at here is misery loves company. I keep saying it. People from alternative media, you're not going to exist. You are going to be removed off the playing board here. And then you're going to, many will be dealing with gang stalking, and very many from alternative media, this technology, because that is who qualifies for this technology. High-profile targets. Everybody from alternative media are high-profile targets. They're the chief conspiracy makers. Hello? Are you kidding? You take a look at cyber attacks. What are they going to do? It'll be cyber attacks with other world traumas. That's MK Ultra on a global scale. They took the micro version and made a macro version. That's world traumas. For compliance, that's MK Ultra. It is what they use in gang stalking. MK Ultra is one of the key components of gang stalking, which proves it's illegal beyond belief. Because the funny thing is, the other half is COINTELPRO. The counterintelligence program, also declared illegal, and that's the other half of gang stalking. Wow, so we've got all sorts of legality problems here for the FBI, don't we? And I want to be clear here, the whole point of these videos is to try and wake people up so that they interview me. The message I am bringing out here is very important, actually. And furthermore, this is stuff that the alternative media does not get. So let's get back on point here. So you take a look at alternative media, they're slated for execution by the elite. They're going to have cyber attacks, and then it's going to be AI censorship system for the internet. It's going to be a YouTube system for the internet. Fuckloads of people are going to be going along with that just so that they can use the internet for business. Hello? Are you kidding? It's going to be forced compliance all over the fucking place. Don't kid yourselves. So my point is, alternative media is not going to exist at that point. They are going to totally remove alternative media from the internet. It will only be government talking points. The difference before with COVID and what they're setting up now is they're serious about this. They're going to totally remove people from the internet. You get 3 strikes and you're out. That's going to be a very short-lived alternative media platform right there, and they're serious. You will not be able to use it. They are removing the alternative media. There's going to be no alternative thoughts or opinions expressed. They're going to dictate what can be spoken. Do not kid yourselves. Then they're looking at the alternative media as high-profile targets, which they are. The whole point of Julian Assange was sending a message to everybody else. This is what we've done to him, and that's what we're going to do to you if you fuck up like he did. So they're going to remove alternative media. Everybody's going to have no voice, and they view you as high-profile targets. Now, how do we know this? We know this because they were calling everybody who spoke out against COVID conspiracy theorists, and it was used across the world. It is an agency threat label. It's a threat assessment label. And they've labeled all conspiracy theorists as domestic terrorists. Imagine that one. So that is really what people from alternative media were being labeled. That is the bare, hard, cold facts. Doesn't matter how you look at it. We are speaking of how agents and agencies and the elite have this set up and how they view you. Now, the difference, the one that I get and agents get, this is the key point. They're not telling people the truth about where I am coming from. I think they've sold, well, he's threatening, because this is how they do their shit. And they use this on Germans, too. It's misery loves company, and he wants to believe the alternative media will be targeted and, they're going to be removed from the playing field. Actually, if you're believing that, it's because you haven't assessed reality. This is the point I'm making. And this goes back to this video I did, and there's a clip at the beginning, and I'm saying there's something wrong with your perceptions if you don't recognize that I offer something and can bring something here to alternative media and the public. That is what I was trying to communicate, and here they go, bumping me out. You'll notice it's always, I'm in mid-thought, I'm about to speak again, and everything gone. The point is, if you're going on what the FBI is saying about me, you believe I'm a total flake. If you actually think about things, you realize that what I am pointing out here in regards to the system here, and agents and agencies and the elite and what they plan here for this year in a matter of months. If you analyze it on your own or you look at what I point out here, you should also get it. The point is, you realize, yes, that is actually the case. Alternative media is about to be targeted very heavily by government. They're going to have the cyber attacks. It's going to be censorship. Alternative media is not going to exist anymore. And I see that Whitney Webb, they're fucking with me. They've been doing this in all the videos too. She also gets this. She understands. I see it. But she doesn't give the hard, cold truth of what she thinks like I do. I'm living it. So I understand very, very easily. I'm living and breathing this shit. I see what is right around the corner here. So getting back to the point, as I was saying at the beginning of that video, if you are not interviewing me, if you think I have nothing to offer here, then there's something wrong with your perceptions. And it gets down to, well, the FBI is selling, it gets down to one of two things. Oh, well, the FBI is selling misery loves company. He wants to believe you're going to suffer the same fate as him because you won't help him. You're helping us. And, which, I'm not going to say anything about it. Or you just haven't analyzed shit. Point is, this is actually what is coming. What I have to offer is very much of value for the public, and the most important point here is the alternative media. Because if you look at how they have this all set up, they most certainly have it set up for removing alternative media, and then they're going to attack and destroy people from alternative media. You're going to end up in my shoes. Once your voice is removed, you have no protection. The whole system is going to be rigged against you the same way it is against me. That is literally what is going to happen. And that is why I say at the beginning of that video, there's something wrong with your perceptions if you don't get the value in interviewing me. Oh, you fucking dream. Quite literally, it is on the alternative media to bring these points up to the public. The next point is the alternative media is slated for being removed here. Furthermore, the one that I get is once you don't have a public platform, You're in my shoes. And many of you are already dealing with counterintelligence program smear campaigns against you. Once you have no voice and the media is totally controlled, it's going to be hunting season. This is literally the plan they have in place. They are going to take you out of the picture, and many are going to be thrown into gang stalking because you're high-profile targets. Many of you, because you are from alternative media, will not only be dealing with the gang stalking, you'll be dealing with this technology. That is a statement of fact and reality. So again, you either don't get the significance of interviewing me. Again, it's based on your perceptions. Either you're believing what the FBI has been selling, or you have not assessed things. You're not being honest about your circumstances here. Because if you take a look at what I've explained here, they most certainly have it set up that way, and it's not a coincidence. That people from the alternative media can't wake up to save their own asses is what burns my ass. And if you're going to get yourselves taken out of the picture, you can still interview me so that I can get the fuck out. At least I know what is about to happen here. That is where I'm coming from. It's not me being egotistical and putting myself up on a pedestal. No, I actually understand how important what it is I've got to bring out here to the public. I get how important it is. Furthermore, I get that the very people helping the FBI are the ones that are going to be targeted. You think that, hello, you expect the FBI and the CIA to tell you this? You lost your fucking minds? They're not anybody's homies. You guys are about to be removed. Hello? So there's something seriously wrong with you when you don't understand the importance of what it is I am communicating. You ought to be fucking interviewing me. That's the fucking point. And if you're believing the FBI shit, and that's what they sold you, that it's misery loves company for them, then take a good look at reality, because clearly they lied to you and where I'm coming from. Hello? They didn't tell you the truth. Take a look at what I've just pointed out. If that's the case, if they sold you that line of shit, man, you guys are in a world of shit here. Oh my God, some of you are on the radar and already made the news with the CoinelPro smear campaigns. Where the fuck do you think you're going to be once you got no voice? It is the only thing that keeps you from being in my shoes in the first place. Oh my God, you people live in Beverly Hills. You people, you're mind-boggling. The FBI is selling extreme bullshit about me, and that's it for it. And again, I don't know if that's what they are selling, or if that's what they have sold, but if that is what they have sold, take a look. It's blatantly obvious for what it is. They know just like I do. Once that AI censorship kicks off, there's going to be no more alternative media. It's not me with misery loves company. Oh no, it's me stating fact. The way they look at it is, if they were to try and sell you the fake psychology about me, oh, it's him, he wants to believe you're going to suffer like him, makes him feel better. The whole point is, for you to believe that, you've got to be not analyzing things on your own. There's one point right there. 2, you're not looking at the pieces and adding it up. There's another point. 3, you clearly do not even understand what the bigger picture is here. So there's another point. My point is, you could have. If you're believing the FBI shit, let me point out where you're at here. Why did you believe it? You could have added this up yourself. It's plain as day what's going to happen to alternative media here. This is what Miss Webb is not speaking about, but clearly she gets it the same way I do. You guys, well, she has stated it, but she doesn't go on about how she thinks things will play out. But you guys are going to be gone. And many of you have already made the papers with false accusations and stuff against you. You take away your voice here, and you're in my shoes. And they are going after you in the first place because they've identified you as high-profile targets. You are not understanding you are being communicated with here. You are not understanding that you are under constant surveillance. You do not understand that once you have no voice, you become like me. You seem to think there's something in your head which separates me from you in regards to you looking at that. That's false hope on your end. I'm stating bare, hard, cold, basic facts and reality here. Nothing separates you from me. You are, in fact, dealing with all the shit I dealt with. The point is, once you have no protection, you are going to find out the hard way that it is exactly as I stated. And of course, agents look at it the same way as me. For you to believe such an extreme lie about my psychology, there's something fucked up with you and your ability to analyze shit in the first place. That is you in denial of the world you live in. That's what that is. That is you with false hope. The reality is, if that's what they've sold, your homies are lying through their teeth. Furthermore, they get it just like I do. Hello? So, if that's what they've been selling, end of story on that. And that is why at the beginning of the video, I've got this one clip there. And I say, there's something wrong with your perceptions if you think I've got nothing to offer in terms of interviews. Are you kidding? Everybody from alternative media has to understand that they are going to be targeted. Holy fuck. And furthermore, this grab that is coming, they're going to grab everybody on the no-fly list. They're going to grab more than 1 million people. That's my best guess. And why? They've got that list for a reason. That was right after 9/11. We didn't all of a sudden overnight 1 million terrorists. No, they just made the label fit good people. Quite literally, the targets are patriots and good citizens and leaders and people who believe in the ideals of this country and the Constitution. Real Americans. We've got criminals who have identified real Americans as the threat. Furthermore, they've got these empty prisons. The whole thing is about putting into place a fascist system. That's why there's no democracy here. The laws aren't working for Alex or Trump. No, nothing. Of course Trump's going to be locked up. It's not about democracy. It's about their new system. Their new system is fascist. You get it? If you understand that, you can predict all sorts of shit here. But that is what those empty prisons were always for. I've known this for decades now. Are you kidding? You don't get put into gang stalking and not understand this program is going to grow and expand because it gives so much power in the first place. That's literally what I've been watching happen here. 911, this program just exploded. Everybody got identified as a threat, but take a look at who they are identifying as a threat. Patriots, good citizens, good people. It's about evil versus good. Furthermore, they've got this fascist system set up. The entire thing is about a fascist grab and a fascist system. We are going to have civil war. They cannot have Trump win, so that's automatically guaranteed it's going to happen. Elections stolen, or Trump murdered, but that's a whole another thing in and of itself. But elections stolen. They cannot have Trump win, so that's guaranteed. They have to have martial law installed to be able to grab all the domestic terrorists, which also indicates a false flag has to be done in which it gets pinned on the domestic terrorists. You get it? These are the guaranteed things that have to happen for them to get what they want. And then also a cyber attack has to happen because they need censorship in place so that they can get away with everything very quick and easily. You get it? Those are all the guaranteed things that are going to happen this year. And that's not everything. Then we got shit with Russia, shit with Iran, shit with China, all sorts of possibilities for other traumas and disasters here. Point is, there is an absolutely crazy rogue element within these corporations and government working together, and military here. It's these three all working together as one, and the whole thing is about the it's from the business plot of, 1933 with Prescott Bush. That is what this is about. The idea never went away. The plan never disappeared. They were like, oh, yeah, this is a great idea. This is all the way back in the 30s. We're going to have a violent overthrow of the government, an instant army, and we're going to take over. And furthermore, part of the plan was to execute non-desirables. That's what they're going to do here. So, and this is the one that people, they just can't deal with it. You are wanting to believe something else. You are not resonating here with the reality of what they are doing and where they are taking the system. That plot, that business plot from 1933, it never went away. Oh, no. What they did is they bought out more people, and they spoke to people from other countries and other lands in Europe, and they all signed on board. And they thought, well, we can do this with our country. Everybody, it's for Europe and America, that system. But the point is, they've bought out all the infrastructure, and they've made sure this time that when they do it, they're not going to fail. And they've got it all set up. We got the empty camps waiting. We've got the new agency threat term here. Domestic terrorist, conspiracy theorist as of 2019. I'm sure it came much earlier than that. Probably all the way back to 9/11, don't you think? And the point is, none of it's by accident. It's all on the books. They can label you a domestic terrorist, and they're going to do what they want to do. It's what they're doing with Trump. They're going to be grabbing politicians is the other one. It's not going to be just alternative media. This is a fascist grab. And at the very least, if you're from alternative media, you ought to be able to understand after cyber attacks, you don't exist. My point is, if you take a look at my life, you can very quickly, if you're honest with yourself and not afraid to look honestly, you can very quickly start to understand, fuck, man, what's the difference between me and him? They're hiding the fact that I'm telling the truth about everything. They're deliberately holding me in stalking, and German agents are going along with it because my psychological profile's been lied about. They're not telling the truth to everybody else. They're saying I'm reacting and getting myself held in. There's no truth to that at all. They bumped out the point, but it had something to do with psychology here. Hang on. Yeah, the FBI is lying through their teeth in regards to me, the gang stalking, and what is actually going on. I've been labeled a threat to agencies here, and I know that because German agents are going along with the FBI, affecting me on a last day of stalking, passing it off as mine, and holding me in. Getting back on track here, there was a point here involved. There was a reason why I brought that up, and I don't remember now. In regards to the gang stalking, you will be... Your point number one is your high-profile targets. Two, you'll have no voice. So you have to understand, in terms of status, you are on the same page as me here with agents and agencies. So you're literally going to have no protection because you're going to have no voice. And you've already been marked as a target. So it's guaranteed you're going to end up with gang stalking, and for a lot and many, I imagine, this technology. And people are going to learn the hard way. I'm not in denial of the FBI here or me and my psychology. This is all lies they're selling about me and themselves. The FBI is balls to the walls guilty. And if you analyze the circumstances here, it's all about a fascist system. It's why you keep hearing about Nazis and stuff. Their system is fascist. This is a fascist grab. It is what was planned back in the 1930s, except it's been set up over a period of many decades. And they've bought out all sorts of people, and the whole thing's about taking America, and then the elite basically, we become serfs and slaves, and they own the whole country and get to run it like a plantation. It's going to be a fascist grab, and they are going to own everything, not us. That is what they are going to do. And a lot of European countries are on board with all of this. That's why it's the same message in Europe as over here. A lot of the crazy woke shit, this and that. All of it. It's for destabilizing countries from within, so that this fascist system can be put into place. I mean, look at the amount of assassinations and stuff that have happened lately in Europe. You get it? In the Middle East. People are just, the elite they're knocking everybody off so they can put this fascist system into place. You understand? And then look at it from my point of view. I need help here. I'm a really good person. And the FBI is just lying through their teeth. If you're from alternative media, you ought to be interviewing me just for the sake of your own ass. Never mind the public here. This all needs to get out. And if I can get this message out and people understand the alternative media is going to be removed from the playing field here, this may create enough awareness that maybe a few things are changed, altered for the better. But that happens through public awareness. So the ball has to get rolling here for anybody to have any chance. The reality is I don't think we can stop it at this point. But it depends on when they do it. I'm looking at July 4th as a very real possibility. So if somebody would at least interview me and let me get the information out, because that's not all of it. I've got tons of information to bring out. I won't be bringing up dirt of agents and agencies here, which I could. I'm talking about all sorts of stuff. I'm talking about particular murders. I could give out all sorts of details, and that would be it for the FBI. You get it? They've been talking all sorts of shit. They've been torturing me off the planet. At the end of one of my videos, I gave them a warning. And fuck them. That's how it is from here on out. Real life. You could clean up all your profiling mistakes, but you're too arrogant to do it. Oh, I can't be we fucked up. Hello? Very professional. So from here on out, when you do fuck up, there's consequences. That's for the FBI and CIA here. Their Disneyland does not exist. Really, all they're doing is lying and manipulating in regards to German agents, and I'm done speaking with those fuck-ups. I gave them more than enough they could have woken up. The problem is, in order for them to wake up, they got to actually start cleaning their mistakes up instead of being in denial of them. You get it? That's the kind of, it's beyond imagination. The whole thing with power and arrogance is just... it's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to experience it in your life. Just big egos, enormous mistakes. You get it? So that's it. This will be the introduction, and I'll put the link for the other video down below in the description here. I'll have it unlisted, but you can look at it that way. That way, at least people in theory, they understand what is meant by that. They did affect me with technology anger in regards to one person from the alternative media. This is what I'm talking about. It's absolutely stupid. I'm not angry at the guy. He's just like Beata. He's going to find out the truth, regardless. You decide what you want. But my point is that people cannot understand where they're at with agents and agencies, and nobody is speaking about this. Nobody is putting my messages out. No, nothing. You're not even no nothing. Just crickets. And the point is, it's not about me. It's also about you and everybody else here. And you are not going there because of the FBI. It blows my mind. You're considered a goddamn target by them in the first place. Everybody's playing stalking and FBI homies. Hello? Does anybody know how to analyze reality here? So I need some help here. Fuck the FBI. They're lying, and end of story. I've got nothing but videos posted about their mistakes and lies that they've gotten away with everybody. But the reality is nobody has anything to worry about by interviewing me. Dawn's not going to be taking me to court, and the FBI most certainly is not going to be taking me to court. I just posted a video about this. I sent it to somebody from alternative media who has a background in law. Hello? And that's just tip of the iceberg. There's no way in hell they're taking me to court. Oh, if they're claiming that, that's just an enormous bluff. So all the way around, nobody has anything to worry about, and it's of benefit to be finding out just everything I've got to speak about here. Every time I sit down to do videos, they fuck with me nonstop. I've had to edit videos over and over and over here. Hello? Interviews a lot different. People will be asking questions, and they won't have a technology trick prepared ahead of time for affecting me. People will be finding out all sorts of stuff. The most important thing is people realize I'm speaking the truth. FBI is not. You get it? What would you do in my shoes? You'd be speaking the truth about shit. Think I'm committing? How crazy does anybody think I am? This is what I mean. Everybody believes a cartoon character the FBI has invented for everybody and passed off as being me. It's bullshit. My point is, I can and will have a positive outcome in regards to interviews. I have very real important points to bring up. As a point, the Antichrist tricking the world. People read the prophecies and stuff, and it's a mystery for them. It's not a mystery if you understand how they're going to do it. And I wrote about this in my book, Day Thief. The problem is that book needs an edit job, and because of agents with technology in the first place. That said, the information is still good, but that's one of the messages. They're going to take a psychopath and trick the world into believing he is a saint with this technology. It's set up for a worldwide system. Scare the shit out of yourselves. It'll be spontaneous healings across the world. And, people will feel the love emanating off of him. And do you remember when they changed the frequency in the whole system for TV sets? I always wondered about that, and I wondered if it had to do with this technology. Maybe there's some component which is electromagnetic in nature, so that they can literally send electromagnetic frequencies and waves and energy from the TV set. In one way, it's already done. In fact, I could tell you about something involving electromagnetic technology and subliminals they do on TV. As every single group of agents knows, I will not watch TV. I don't watch TV, and I avoid commercials. There is a major fucking reason why. And I've had a few experiences with this. That shit's been in place a long time, but I speak other stuff here. Point is, there will be spontaneous healings and a feeling of love emanating from them. Nobody knows about this fucking technology, and they don't know about this plan. You get it? It's like everybody is taking part in evil by not even allowing me, because the reality is I am needing help here. And I am dependent on somebody here helping me in regards to interviews. But my point is, take a look at what a difference it would make. They're going to take a psychopath and pass him off as a saint. Somebody anointed by God. No, it's going to be a psychopath, and it's going to be this technology, actually. They're not waiting to invent another technology that does the same thing. Hello? How much sense does that make? No, they will use this technology. But this is how the Antichrist deceives the world. And this is how they get tricked. It's going to be fake miracles. People will feel the love emanating from them. And then the other one's going to be, he's going to speak in his language, but everybody's going to understand him. That's easily done with this technology. It has to be set up ahead of time, but it's easily done. This is simple dum-dum shit with this technology, and they're going to dupe the world. If my message gets out, just imagine how well that plan is going to work if everybody goddamn knows about it. Hello? And it just blows my mind. Whether anybody understands it or not, I'm actually real. My profile's real. Centers around, you keep hearing me bring it up in not in interviews, that's them doing a word switch, in videos. The whole enlightenment thing. It's not imaginary and in my head. I live and breathe this. And what they have sold is just a whole bunch of bullshit about me. Actually, what they've sold are extreme lies about my psychology. They are literally mocking people by getting them to believe this absurd nonsense. It's like believing David Icke hates Jews. It's an absurd lie. It's preposterous. Yeah, I see they're getting away with tricking people with this shit. Hello? Has everybody lost their minds? Can you imagine the difference just on that one point that can make with the world here? I look at different timelines. Currently, we are on the worst timelines in regards to prophecy. The worst ones. This is the shit that I thought wasn't going to happen. I was like, oh, it looks like things are changing now. Oh, no, we're on a crash course for the worst. Fuck, man. We're up shit creek here. Getting back to the point, I look at everything in terms of God. Look at the messages I'm trying to get out and the impact and the difference my messages would make here in regards to the future. And then I got everybody else making decision making, and the reality is they haven't even spoken with me because they're listening to the FBI. It just blows my mind. You're not even looking in terms of strategy and tactics in regards to agents and agencies. Who is controlling the information? Who is sitting in between me and you, the FBI? Holy fuck, you think that's accidental? It just blows my mind. None of you get jack shit about agents and agencies. I've got little kids making decisions about everybody's future here. Yes, my messages can change things. Jesus Christ, how fucking difficult is that to get? Everybody is believing the lies about me instead of looking at what I present here. I have nothing but shitloads to offer. I get the agency infrastructure in regards to this goddamn program and this technology. Furthermore, I get how agents and agencies do their shit. I get their end of shit. I am the closest thing you got. That's them fucking with me. All these breaks in my energy, it's always them. Aside from an agent, I'm the closest thing you got. And it's in regards to this program and this technology. You think the FBI wants people knowing the truth about this shit? Of course they don't. And that's just normal, basic realities. In real life, in normal life, I wouldn't even be going here. But we've got my circumstances here. They misprofiled me for 22 fucking years. What does anybody do under those circumstances? You point out their goddamn mistakes in the reality of your profile. German fuck-ups listen to idiots. You know, the whole thing's about arrogance. Listen to these idiots. Nobody's cleaned a goddamn thing up. Oh, we couldn't have fucked up. Hello? They've cleaned up peanuts. The reality is German agents are going along with my being held in, and it's not because of this book. They were doing it the entire time and way in the first place. They still have my psychology wrong. I've still been labeled an agency threat, and they still plan on killing me. Hello? Starting to get more off track here. But, you know, interviews provide me some protection and proves a point, too. I will not be bringing up all sorts of agency dirt. And then from there, if they get out of my life, I'll be living a happy, quiet life. It just depends on them and what they're doing. I mean, the reality is I'm going to be getting citizenship in another country, but I need money for doing it. My new life starts here. And a life without agents and agencies once I get interviews. They're not going to be seeing me doing more books about this because we're about to have a fascist system. The next point is, in terms of God and everything, really, judgment's been passed on this country. If things continue at this rate, next year we will be attacked by Russia and China. And no doubt with Cuba and Venezuela also helping. I do not doubt it at all. There are tons and tons of people who are being given these visions when they're sleeping by God. And it's all about that. The Russians and the Chinese. EMPs, and all of a sudden we are in the toilet. And the troops are rolling in, and man, are we fucked. A judgment's been passed here. It's actually going to be passed this election. If Trump does not win, then evil flourishes, and that means God is green-lighting America being destroyed. The reality is the elite will be doing it themselves. That's the point. These psychopaths and Satanists, really it's the same thing. They are out of control, they are united together, and they're all about their own power issues, and at the cost of others. So, they will get this country destroyed, and quite frankly, many of themselves destroyed. Key points here. And everybody is going to learn through the path of experience. That is what will happen. America will be attacked and America will go down. This is green-lighted by God if Trump does not win. If evil flourishes here, evil wins, then God is putting his foot down next year. So you got to look at it from my point of view also. And I've pointed it out to these agents. I was like, well, sucks to be a CIA agent when that shit happens, because you're going to have no American government behind you. So take a look at it from my point of view. There's going to be no FBI for suing. They're talking about keeping the gang stalking going, but as they see over and over and over, I'm like, how do you think I look at this? I'm looking at basic realities here. You're not going to be around. As I tell Patsy and her team of walnuts, as I've told them, good riddance. You are just like everybody else causing problems in this country. These agents here. Just arrogant, and power fixes everything. They don't get jack shit. It's just like dealing with crackheads off the street. They're all about their power. They're not about thinking intelligently, nothing. The reality is this country is going to just burn this year regardless. We're going to have civil war. They want to declare martial law and round everybody up. They're going to get rid of alternative media and even grab politicians they don't like. It's going to be a fascist grab. And they are on the verge of, this government's committed so much evil and stuff, and then they're on the verge of committing just a world war here. God's going to put his foot down. That's the way it works. The law of cause and effect. Karma is about to catch up with this country. And the thing is, I've been optimistic, but over the last many years now, I see, well, it's the public's not going to wake up. Everybody is going to learn the hard way. That's why I said in the one video, I bring it up in regards to Alex, you might as well just, you and your family, go move with Max. And neither you nor I can change what is going to occur here, so why stick around for it? I consciously choose to opt out from the experience. I've got nothing to learn from it. If you understand where I've been here with the FBI, I'm the one that sought peaceful options, but they have not cleaned up their shit here for German agents. And that's not accidental. My point is, these people that I deal with here are just like these elements in government causing all these problems with Russia. I have sought peaceful options. And they've just been arrogant pigs. No, we're just going to do what we want, lie about you, lie about us, and what we're doing, and on and on. We can do it, and we can get away with it. That is their own self-invented rule. I'm like, well, that's not reality. I'll get a lawyer and approach small YouTubers and have a lawyer send an email and explain my circumstances, and I need interviews. Hello? I'm going to do whatever it takes, but I could use some help. What I offer here is of value. That's just a statement of fact. Furthermore, I see people do not understand agents and agencies in regards to all sorts of shit. The reality is they plan on getting rid of alternative media. You have to understand that is going to happen. And then you have to understand you're labeled high-profile targets. You have to understand that is what the stalking is for. People from alternative media ought to be very alarmed, and this ought to be, constant news here. But instead, it's crickets. That's in regards to you and yourselves and your own asses. Hello? For somebody like Patrick, it might be different, but, for most, it's not going to be. I'm going to switch gears here for a moment. Back when I was with my family and with Horvat and our officers many years ago at this point now, one of the things I realized about the counterintelligence program is that really it's the Phoenix program. I used to be a big history buff. In fact, when I was in the university, going to the university, I went and saw a guest speaker, and it was in regards to Vietnam, and he was speaking about the Phoenix program. And I went up and spoke to him about it and how effective he thought it was, and if if they had started implementing it earlier, how did he think that would project into the future? How much more of a difference would it have made? And really, that's what the counterintelligence program is. You surveil, you blend in with your target or targets, and, Black Panther movement, American Indian movement, AIM, and then you assassinate them. You assassinate their character, and you physically assassinate them. That's what they did with the Black Panthers. They went in there and they literally assassinated people. And that was the FBI. But that is literally what the counterintelligence program is. It's very much like the Phoenix program. And it's one aspect of the gang stalking. This is where the FBI is worried about me getting in front of a congressional hearing, or a committee on in regards to this technology, because I get all of this in terms of agents and agencies. You get it? Oh, they're shitting their pants. From their point of view, in one way, it's like a it's like they've got a agency insider who could spill the beans on them. You get it? If they force me into doing it, I will. Currently, based on where things are at, I'm looking at my survival here. Never mind getting out of the country. But again, I need help. They've got me shut down all over the place. I put flyers up, paper flyers, and they have their people come and take them down within 24 hours, all over the place. Of course, I check. Every time I do this, I check, and every time it's the same. Hello? What I need is somebody to give me the opportunity and chance. I'd be very good for interviewing. I don't know, they lie about everything. So if they've sold, I'll be angry and hostile, or, it's all bullshit. It's totally not where I'm at. I'm very serious, and I imagine from a lot of people's point of view, a very professional demeanor. Sure as hell won't be like videos here. I'm tired as fuck. I've been bombarded with technology nonstop. Even throughout the video here, yes, I'm being affected. Yes, I'm being attacked at times. There's no such thing as an enjoyable day when you're dealing with this technology. That is a statement of fact. People take things for granted in regards to what it is I actually deal with. I don't bring up fuckloads, and neither do they, because then they look guilty as shit. You get it? As a result, everybody thinks I've got it a lot better than how they're passing it off. It's not that way at all. It's the opposite. If you could take most shit they tell you and just reverse it to get to the truth, because they reverse shit all of the time. It's standard operational procedure in regards to fuckloads. You also be incorrect as shit, if you just start reversing shit. But that's the reality of agents. I think they're very sloppy and stupid and non-professional. This shit of reversing things gives them fake answers all the time. If you reverse something and it's not true in the first place, you end up with a fucked up, an answer. You arrive at something that's even more fucked up than it was in the first place. That's what German agents have done. That's what these morons have done. It's amazing. If you understood how incompetent agents in this program of gang stalking are, it's like they took all the failures and put them in this program. Hello? I deal with people who kill and do torture. Just do the math on that. So I don't, there's no reason for not interviewing me. That is where I am coming from. I've tried peaceful resolutions here with agents and agencies. Of course I have. I follow this path. This enlightenment path, which I speak about. The reason why I bring it up is because the agents and agencies having my profile fucked up in the first place. Usually this was something reserved for the very few. Hello? It's not about my ego. That's one more they clearly have tried selling before. Probably, I'm sure they got away with it. But it's a total lie. I have followed God's law here with the FBI. They have been properly assessed and measured, and they've done nothing but stab me in the back over and over here. Why? They're lying and getting away with everything. That's the entire point. How do you think they are measured by God here? They're fucking turds in the toilet, and they know it, and I know it. June 11th, 12:40 a.m. This is totally off subject in one way. The reason why I bring up this path I'm on and the enlightenment path and God here. It's what I live and breathe. I literally walk this path. It's not that I'm putting it up on a pedestal. No, what I am trying to explain is that how I am is actually extremely different from most people. That's just a statement of fact. It's actually been one of the problems agents with technology have had. I view things very differently than they do. That's why I point stuff out to every group of agents. Look, this is me. You've got technology on me. Do a brain squeeze. I've got no ulterior motives, and on and on. And they just read themselves into shit. They're in denial of me. So I bring this up because it's actually very relevant. If you don't understand this about me, then you're not dealing with me. That's how this is. I'm going to point out the spiritual side of things here, the God side of things. And then you can understand how it is that I am and how I actually view things. So, let's start with this. How many people do you know of who have been in one cover-up? Okay, what about 2 cover-ups? And that's just me in this town, this very town right here. Now, how about 3 cover-ups? 3 fucking cover-ups. How many people can say that fucking one? Now, you got option A or you got option B. Most people go for option A because that's just quick and easy and it makes the most sense for people. Because otherwise, you got to actually think about shit. This is how most people are. So I'm there in Germany. Horvat and her officers hold me in, and I passed with flying colors. I had changed. I had literally changed, and agents and agencies had nothing to worry about in regards to viewing me as a threat to agencies. No, I was ready to start my brand new life. Are you kidding? It's like getting out of prison, except a lot of people end up back in prison. That's not how I am or what I had planned for my life. It was going to be writing, success, piece of land, house, off the grid, and me and my family. I'm still there, but now I'm totally fucked. Now, one of the first things I realized is, well, Horvat held me in. She's the agent in charge. She personally held me in. And I went through shock, disbelief, denial. Are you kidding? Who the fuck holds somebody in stalking? Like, stalking's not bad enough. You fucking get it? You guys have no idea, actually. Ask Dan Bongino. He'll tell you. He's got all the symptoms of somebody going through stalking in the first years. I checked the video not too long ago. He exhibits all the signs. I don't know, maybe it was a really old video, but I don't remember it being an old video. But the point is, Horvat had done this, and then I realized, well, that means our whole team of agents are bad. The whole team is bad. Whole team. She made a decision, they went along with it. She held me in stalking, and the reality was I passed with flying colors. And, so I was I tried being I couldn't understand it at all. But I tried being understanding. Well, it must be she's got personal reasons for doing it. Eventually she'll wake up that I should be free here. Like there was an issue. And but it was a total mystery on my end. I told Monica, she didn't believe me, and I did not blame Monica. That wasn't her fault. I went through disbelief, and I'm the one that had the fucking experience directly. You get it? There was no faulting Monica. That's not her fault. Eventually I woke her up to the reality of Horvat and her officers. And then once Horvat revealed this technology in June of 2006, Monica totally got everything here with Horvat and her officers the same way I did. But I couldn't make sense of it. So I was understanding at first. I couldn't understand it, but I was patient and tolerant. That's good wording. And I figured whatever psychological issues she has, she'll work it out and eventually wake up and she'll free me. She never did it. So then eventually I start getting angry at God. I'm like, what the fuck? I got in the middle of 2 cover-ups, and now I'm in the middle of a 3rd. Holy shit. Oh, you got no idea. And I'm paying for it, and my family's paying for it, and we got weird shit going on around the apartment. That's because it was agents with technology. But just heavy, weird shit. And, I'm thinking it's an evil ghost at first, then it changes to reptilians, I'm thinking. By 2004, I had the space alien theory. Reptilians is what I was thinking. And major stress fest. And the reality was it was Horvat and her officers with technology. And the point is, I started getting angry at God. I was like, what the fuck? Two is not bad enough. Oh, you have no idea. I could very easily be cynical and angry about my life here. But the point is, I'm not, and I'm explaining to you why that is. As hard as my life is here, I understand God is written, there's writes the script here, you get it? But God also writes the script in regards to me meeting you all and us interacting, and you too have a part to play and decisions to make. Do you make the correct decision or the wrong decision? Do you honestly believe I am committing conspiracy against government when they've got this technology on me? It's absurd. Hello? So getting back to the point, oh yeah, fuck man, are you kidding? Horvat held me in 2002. I was dumbfounded. I went through shock, disbelief, denial, then fear. I was like, how will I ever be free of the stalking when I'm being deliberately held in? Hello? And I realized that, because I waited. I made my assessments based on the reality of the circumstances. This is one that German agents, they do not understand. They just wrote everything off as delusional. They're balls-to-walls incompetent. They just make everything fit what they already believe. Problem is, what they already believe was never double-checked or verified. Hello? Who the fuck performs like that? Goddamn amateurs do. The reality is, this is all real and true, and take a look at German agents. They are major fuck-ups. So yeah, I was angry at God. I'm like, what the fuck? 3 cover-ups now, because I realized eventually here, it didn't take long. I realized, well, Horvat didn't tell the truth to German agents. Hello? So I'm like, this is incredible. I'm in this illegal government program. I'm sitting here in Germany, and the CIA has held me in for some mysterious reason and lied to German agents. Could not wrap my head around it. So my point is, I started getting angry at God. I was like, this is beyond unfair. This is insane. I was angry as fuck. And then eventually I started looking at the God side of things, because that is also part of reality. And one of the first things I realized is, well, before we're born, we have a blueprint, a map for our life here on Earth. And along the way, in regards to that blueprint and map, you will have certain major life events, and then you either go left or you go right. And then from there, you have more events in your life and stuff. The point is, it's written. There's a script ahead of time. Certain things do not happen by accident in your life. So eventually, when I looked at this, I stopped being angry with God. I was like, well, clearly this was meant to happen. How many fucking people get in the middle of 3 goddamn cover-ups? You get it? That is God making it clear to me this was not accidental. Do you get it? That is exactly how it is. That's the point. This is not my imaginings here. This is quite literally God given a sign here. Because, man, you're not going to find anybody else on the planet in the middle of 3 goddamn cover-ups. Hello? And that's why I was so angry at God. Till I looked at the bigger picture. And I was like, well, none of this is by coincidence. I was meant to meet Horvat and her officers, and this was going to play out. And that was just the first couple of years that I'd been held in after 2002. So the point is, there's a God side of things here. And this is how I look at everything. I'm a good person in the middle of very dangerous circumstances currently, and I need help. How do you think I look at it? I look at it with between the people I deal with in contact and your decision-making and God here. God knows my circumstances are real and true. That's where you are tested. How can you not recognize there's something wrong with the picture the FBI is selling? How can it possibly be that interviewing me will be negative? That's insane. Hello? It's insanely absurd. Dawn's not going to be taking me to court. The FBI's not going to be taking me to court. Where are the problems going to be? Only one of us is telling the truth, and it's not the FBI, and it sure as fuck isn't Dawn. So the shit I could say, if I had money, the FBI would be shitting their pants. Are you kidding? But the reality is, I already see how things are here and how things are going to play out. And as I've communicated to the FBI, well, if I'm still in gang stalking, clearly I'm going to have a problem with it. But the reality is, really, there's not going to be an America here within less than a year. That's reality, whether anybody believes it or not. I'm a big believer in prophecies. Those prophecies, there's a method to the madness in regards to that. Time is the past, present, and future. And people who have particular gifts, or it's written for this lifetime, what have you, they're able to plug in from here and see down the road here in terms of time. They're able to connect with the timeline in the future, which connects with this timeline here, where they're making the prediction from. They're seeing the future. And the point is, there's a method to the madness. People see the timelines which are most likely to occur a lot of the time. And it depends on how good the person is. But the point is, all these prophecies are now happening. And I see it just plain as day. I see all sorts of shit happening here. Currently, we are not on a good course here in regards to timelines. As I've told these agents, actually, we're currently on the worst timelines here. We are literally on the verge of nuclear war, and there is a timeline in regards to that. And fuck, I thought we were, out of the woods in regards to that one, and now it looks like it's about to happen. That's where there's a nuclear exchange so heavy that space homies on God's behalf have to intervene to keep the goddamn planet from being destroyed. Because that's one people don't get. We're a part of the earth here and a part of God's plan. We don't get to rewrite God's fucking script. Boy, these people are crazy as shit, dangerous as shit, and balls to the walls delusional. If it gets to that point, God will intervene, and that's actually some of the prophecies I've looked at. Shit will get so bad, they will literally intervene. And usually that's against divine law. That's how fucking bad our circumstances are here. It'll be the whole goddamn northern hemisphere. Can you imagine that fucking one? Russia, China, North Korea, holy fuck, America, Israel, holy shit, man. So, but that's how I approach things in regards to my writing. The Antichrist has been a big focus. I'm getting tired. I will do a video in regards to that. There's a whole story to it. And you see God's hands in regards to it, the entire step in white. There's a whole story to how I figured out who the Antichrist is and how this is going to play out. And if I tell you the real story, you'll get goosebumps, man. It's crazy. It's like one thing just keeps proving the next one. And it's you just see it. It's God's hands in regards to all these different pieces. And how I get from one piece to the next. It's crazy as shit, man. So, but I'm tired. I'll save that for another time. But in regards to you, Patrick and Alex, yes, I was also addressing alternative media here within the video. You know, I'm asking for some help. I've got other videos posted, the last several I recommend. I'll put the link for the video I did yesterday, which I can't edit yet again. You know, that's it for that shit. I'll just put the link for it down below. It's unlisted. You can find it in the video description. But at least you get where I'm coming from in regards to that. Yes, they did affect me and have me angry at this one person, but it's so stupid. That's the point. I communicated it to these agents. How fucking stupid are you? You just go doing it, but it's so far removed from where I'm at. You're just fucking obvious. You know, if I get 10 seconds to be myself, your goose is cooked. No, I don't have hang-ups with this particular individual. He's going to find out the truth anyhow. That's where I'm coming from. It's the same thing with Beata and German agents here. You don't have to believe me. Kiss my ass. You're going to find out anyhow. But you still got to wake up to your profiling mistakes so I can be free of the stalking and not labeled an agency threat and be slated for execution here because they've got me on a kill list. All right, I'm not done. I want to get back to timelines here and prophecies, seeing the future. They were screwing with me when I was speaking about it, and I look at this and I'm like, why did they do it? It takes 2 seconds to figure out why. They do this all of the time is the next point. I'm like, oh, you're at it again. They do it to make it look like I don't know what it is I speak of here. Now, actually, this is stuff I've explained to agents and agencies, actually. God is past, present, and future. God. Time is past, present, and future. The thing is, it is all God. So if you understand that, then you understand that the past, the present, and the future all exist at once. Time is definitely an illusion. And the thing is, the more clean people are typically, the more they're cleaned up mentally, the more plugged in they are with God, the higher their energy, the more accurate they are in regards to prophecies. And so when I look at prophecies, I pick up on who it is that is plugged in and giving clear prophecies. This is something that I'm able to do, and it has to do with where I'm at on this path with enlightenment. As Horvat and her officers communicated to me back when I was with my family, they got to the bottom of my real profile. They communicated to me, you pick up on minute amounts of truth. I don't know if that's right wording, or that's what they communicated. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. There's a lot more involved. Where I seem to operate from is very different than from most people. My code here, my path, it's all on divine law. So it does make me different from most people. Most people are not this way. I don't operate with ulterior motives, and I'm very clear with myself about who I am. I don't lie to myself, and as a result, my psychology is much simpler. This is where the FBI and CIA get away with lying about me all of the time. They're claiming I don't know myself at all. And really all they've done is reverse shit. And then they've dumped their profile on me. Bottom line, that's it. So, I mean, there are a few things, if you understand stuff like that in regards to the FBI, you understand they're lying through their teeth. You see them all over the place. You get it? Maybe God writes the script on that one. All of a sudden, the flames burst. Hey, maybe that's a message for all of you out there. Patsy and the Walnuts and, all of you. Nobody's got any business holding me and stalking. That's a statement of fact. They've had my profile wrong the whole time. Then I point out their mistakes and they're arrogant about it. Sorry, that's it. So all the shit they're selling, hello? I need some help here. I cannot do this by myself. I literally have my paper flyers being taken down for my books. Hello? So it's impossible. So I need some help here. Getting back to the thing with prophecies. So some people are better than others, and it has to do with how clean they are mentally and plugged in with God. Some are better than others. That's the entire point. People are really plugged in. They can see hundreds of years down the road, thousands of years down the road. That's the way that works. But currently the prophecies don't look good, and the Antichrist is on his way here. This fascist system is the beginning of it. Nostradamus wrote about the Antichrist, and he's going to make Hitler look like a baby in comparison. And it all really starts off with this fascist system being put in place. You get it? You have to understand, I view things in terms of timelines, impossible timelines. I write with the intent of trying to alter negative timelines. You get it? And that is where I'm frustrated with the alternative media, because even for the sake of your own asses, you're not helping me out here. And because of the bad guys. Quite literally. It just blows my mind. So that's where I ask, Alex, it looks like InfoWars is going to be shut down. I mean, there's no question. They want you out of the picture before the election. You know that, and I know that. Last shot here, for me, on my end, something I will never forget. Last shot with the king here, because they are going to get rid of you. But, I recommend following the same course of action as me, south of the equator. You get it? What are those? I think it's Dutch islands off of South America there. I was looking at that. If I had money, go where the rich are. Whole world will be going to hell, and that place will be partying and still have all its connections and shit, I bet. But yeah, south of the equator. But think about it. There's nothing bad is going to happen as a result, only good things. And again, I see what is coming here, and I don't think we're going to change what happens in this country, but I can at least get people awake to the possibilities here and have people bracing for impact, because we're looking at a full fascist system. It's going to be a fascist grab. That's the entire point. And look, InfoWars is going to be gone, and it would just blow my mind. I finally... And with you and on InfoWars. Hello? Shit, man. That would be a hell of a thing. And InfoWars is about to be shut down. And I'm in this position where I've got to do this book and interviews for surviving. Ultimately, I've got to get citizenship in another country, and then land and a piece of land and a house. It's going to be difficult as shit because I have no money right now. I am so surviving on nothing here. And it would be a hell of a deal. I'm forced into doing this. That's one more I didn't get into. But, that's how I view this now. It's like God's hand is in this again and writing the script. I mean, I pointed out there are mistakes, agents and agencies here in regards to profiling, and they've just been arrogant about it. Oh, we couldn't have. Hello? They've been balls to the walls incompetent. But I see this. I see God's hand in things. This is not believe it or not, this is not the book I wanted to be doing. And this is not the time period for doing this kind of writing. A fascist system is coming, and I'm putting myself on the goddamn radar. You get it? But it's like God said, well, you didn't want to do it, but I want it. Because that's the way shit has worked out. It wasn't from a lack of trying on my end. Are you kidding? So, think about it. It almost seems, like, InfoWars on its way out, me forced into doing this book and interviews, and me hurrying to get out of the country with my cat. That's one more. Holy shit, I've got to have money, man. And then I'll be working on comedy romance books and stuff, but, it's going to be difficult. Think it over. It's not going to hurt, and it'll only help. Main thing is people have got to understand this fascist grab is coming. That business plot from 1933, it never went away. Give me a break, Alex. You're a realist in regards to these people. And I'm sure, Patrick, you get this as well. Look, that plan never went away. Are you kidding? That plan would have worked. It almost worked all the way back then. Oh, they've re-perfected it, and they made sure that this time it's not going to fail. That is what all the goddamn camps across the country are about. I remember looking, they had one that could hold like 1.5 million people out west or something, if I remember right. You probably know better than I do. I was looking at prison camps in Europe. They've got them all throughout countries in Europe. Not in Germany, but all sorts of countries in Europe. They've got them in Poland, if I remember right, and I don't remember the others, but it's most of them, if I remember right. Hello? No, this is what Book of Revelation is about. It's about this stuff right here. Everybody thinks the third horseman of the apocalypse is famine. Now, that's a scale of justice. It's about fascism. That's why, everybody's screwed up on that. But it's blatantly obvious. What do you see all around you? It's fascism, man. What are they talking about? All the time you hear Nazis and this, Nazis and that, and it's Nazis, and, let's give this one a medal. Hello? You think they're advertising the system they are putting into place? What did you experience? What have I experienced? What is Trump experiencing? That is not democracy. The three of us are experiencing. No, that is fascism. These people are advertising the future here when they make their fascist grab. And, man, Trump is in a world of shit here if he does not win. He's in a world of shit anyhow. So, me, I opt out. I already understand this entire system and what's going to happen with this country, and I consciously choose not to have the experience. I have nothing to learn from it. You understand? So they keep trying to pose me as a threat to agencies. It's absurd. So I don't know. You guys think about it. I'll do a few more videos and send you links for those as well. I will be doing one about the mistakes of agents and agencies. You know, as a point, I know where Horvat lives. I know her license plate. I know her birth date, not the year, but the month and day. I know how big her ass is. You know, those are some mistakes right there. But, you know, of course, I have no interest in pursuing Horvat here or the CIA. You know, it's just a matter of, you know, I'll see what happens here. But really, it's a matter of them getting their heads straight in regards to my psychology here. What they've been doing is just reading what they believe into everything. They've got computer programs for it. Automatically gives them a false answer, and then they go passing it off as real and true in the file. It's amazing. I did a diagram of this for the BKA. I did a diagram of this when I sent off this book is a file I sent off to the BKA in 2014, and I sent a diagram, and in the diagram I'm showing this is me being affected with technology up here, and everybody is believing the technology effects somehow. I could see that they're believing the technology effects, but I couldn't figure out how. And then I was showing them, no, this is me down here, this is real me. This is where they've been the entire time. They're believing their technology effects. They're reading their shit into everything with technology. I've been fucking up the whole time. And they still haven't woken up. And that was 10 years ago. Hello? So, you know, this everything about agents and agencies here, it's a goddamn lie and a myth. Oh, they're protecting people. They're not protecting anybody. They're targeting their own people. You get it? So you ask yourself, I'll end with this. You ask yourself, how much good would it do to interview me? And then ask yourself, what could be lost by not interviewing me? The alternative media is not even awake to the reality that they're about to be removed from the playing field and then targeted heavily. Hello? For me, it's mind-boggling. You can see it plain as day. You can see they've got it all set up for this. Everybody's not thinking in terms of everybody's got this from alternative media. You've got your name, you got your image and everything. You're not thinking. Once you got no voice, you don't have any of that. You are not alternative media anymore. However, what you are is a high-profile target for agencies. How is it that people do not understand the amount of shit they are in here with government once they start doing all of this? But what blows my mind is the alternative media is not even interviewing me for the sake of their own asses. Hello? It's plain as day. Agents and agencies will be coming after alternative media. The reality is, you see it with all sorts of people in the first place. Again, it is them pushing in the system that they are going to put into place here. You can see it. That is a statement of where it is going to be all of the time. Once you've got no voice, you know, most people from alternative media, once they've got no voice, they are in my shoes. You get it? So think about it. And when I do other videos here, I'll send you links. Yeah, I'll do a video about the story of the Antichrist here, how I found this person. It's a crazy story, and like I said, you just see God's hands in all of it. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so that's it. I'm tired and rambling. All right, that's it. A few last points here. If and when I get interviews, I'll be taking down all of my videos at my channels about agents and agencies. I will leave up the videos I've done about Ebola and the elite and this coming system. I'll leave those up. But I'll take down the stuff about agents and agencies. Part of it is simply for my own safety right now. If I get interviews, then I don't really need those videos up. You get it? But then that also gives me the ability to do videos about what I see coming up until I get out of the country. You get it? So that's one point. I will be taking videos down. Another point, in regards to the video, I'll have the link down below in the video description. Hang on. In regards to that video, they hijacked me. And this has been going on a lot very much of the time when I do videos. I'll have my intent, my points I want to bring up. It's stuff I have to bring up because it's stuff that's being lied about. So, but I've got all sorts of points to bring up. And what they do is they hijack me with technology. It's technology viewpoints with technology emotional states. And that's what they did in that video. As I told these agents here, I told them this a week or two ago. I said, of course I'm not angry at alternative media. I've not... Oh, this came up because they affected me when I sent my ex, Monica, text. They had me send... They affected me so that the tone was angrier than where I was at. Point is, I wasn't actually angry. But I came across as angry in the text. I make mental notes about this shit when they do it. Because this is with my ex. I want to be as clear as possible with her. You get it? Something like that gives her the wrong impression, and then she misreads me, and it's because of technology. You get it? I automatically note shit like that. It's for the protection of our relationship. She has to be clear of where I'm at and what's technology. You get it? This is how we both work. Yeah, so I said to them, I'm not angry with alternative media. And, of course, I look at this and I ask myself, why do they do this shit? And I look at it, okay, well, maybe they're trying to convince Monica of some lie. Well, he's angry at alternative media. But why? I don't know. But it could be that. That's stuff I would have to look at in detail. But I don't waste my time with that shit. For me, it's a small effect. But then they could also say, well, this proves a point to, people around me or people behind the scenes from alternative media. And really, it's a technology effect. That's why it makes a difference. If I know that they're doing shit for people in particular, I will point it out. You get it? In regards to them affecting me with Monica, I note it automatically anyhow. That just has to do with us and having a relationship while we are being attacked with technology. That's just how you do it if you got a brain. Yeah, so then what they did here is they hijacked me with technology anger and technology viewpoints. Had me angry at this one person in particular. Now, the reason why I left it in the video is that sums up, it sums up my... But you see it in the video. I don't explain myself very well, and that's because they affect me so much in the video. You'll note there's a major difference between this video and the video that I have the link for down below. You'll notice there's a very big difference. As I said to David and Bill, look at the difference between me here and how I was in Phoenix. It's night and day. It has to do with how much they affect me at the time. Normally, explaining myself and my thought processes is not difficult. Hello? It's quite literally, you can see the difference in regards to them misusing technology. That's the point I am making. And in regards to this one person, like everything depends on him. Hello? Again, also not me. I'm a realist. The point in regards to the message I sent my ex Monica, I was saying, we'll see how it goes this time with alternative media. The entire point is, why be angry? Why waste my time being angry? And I haven't even approached people yet, really. Hello? But I do see people are tricked. And the reality is that's just going to catch up with them later anyhow. But I left it in because that does sum up my anger and frustration with the alternative media here in general. You know, if I were to think about the amount of people I've approached over the years, it's insane. So it does sum things up. But one of the problems within that video is they just keep blocking my thoughts. They do it all throughout this video. They're doing it now. This is why I have such a hard time speaking. It's me being bombarded. They're fucking with my speech and stuff also. See? Just screwing around. These are automated programs for affecting me during the video. And within the video, every single one of them, they do specific hit pieces. Just ask yourself, what would lying criminals do with this technology to avoid being exposed, to avoid being caught? It's all about affecting me for tricking people into viewpoints which are not accurate. That's what it's about. It's about reinforcing lies they've sold about me. I looked at the video. I'll give you an example of a hit piece. I note it when they do it. The problem is, if I try and point certain things out in mid-thought, they'll wipe my memory. They just do this shit automatically. I mean, a lot of the times, if I stop and pause, they'll wipe my memory. And that's just one point of many. What they'll do is I'll have a point to bring up, and they'll have me bring up the secondary point first. It looks like I'm reinventing my memory. So I'll state the secondary part first. This is quite literally a computer program they have. You know, as a point, if you were to count from 1 to 4 and try and do it, they could scramble it and have you saying it all screwed up. The second one, you say first, so you say 2 instead of 1, and then you say 1 instead of 2, and then 4 instead of 3, and 3 instead of 4. You get it? They can take your background thoughts and amplify it they can have you speak secondary points first. You understand? And this is just standard operational procedure stuff. I mean, the reality is I could do a 350-page book on this shit. That's how big my database is here. But they just did that in the video here. And it looks like I'm making it up. This is why they do it. And I have not been pointing this out, but I will point it out here because it matters. You get it? I mean, all throughout all the videos I get affected. Background feelings, not mine, a feeling of confusion. And that right there is enough to totally fuck you up. And I push through that, but then they have other stuff and tricks that they do. Getting back to the text I sent my ex, Monica, the whole point was, I said to her, we'll see how it goes this time with alternative media. And because it's never worked before. But I am at a different place here, and the circumstances are all different, and everything is finished as far as I'm concerned with agents and agencies. They've got no business being in my life. They are lying to everybody and getting away with it. I measure everything by divine law. I opted for peaceful resolutions. This book is the last thing I wanted to be doing a book on. I wanted to move on with my life. And then here I am. I've got no choice, actually. So I've got to make the best out of bad circumstances. I operate by divine law. I am a good person, believe it or not, in spite of what they've sold, which to a very large extent is a cartoon. And these agents have just been backstabbing the entire time and way. Furthermore, I'm going to Germany for a few weeks at least, so I am also dealing with Horvat and her officers. So that's them screwing with my speech yet again. But I'm dealing with two teams agents. Nobody's cleaning shit up here. German agents are off in outer space. That's my guy, Hops. Mr. Hops. Mamos. Hey, Hops. Say hello. Mamos. So it's very late, and I am extremely, extremely tired. Whole point is, I do have something to offer here, and actually, what I do have to offer is important. What's coming here right down the road is people need to be as mentally prepared as possible. Alex, I see that you see this, but this is the final picture here. It's this business plot from the 30s. You just see it all over the place. You're always hearing about Nazis and this and that, and when you look at the behavior here, it's all about fascism. So, I would appreciate it if people would, measure this just in terms of right and wrong and good and bad. Again, if they've said that my ex will sue me or so, it's all bullshit. It's all cheap scare tactics. Nobody has anything to worry about. That's one more maybe they're doing, for all I know. They did it 30 years ago, so I could very easily imagine them doing it all over again, because the reality is they're scared shitless of all the information I'm sitting on top of. It's why they've got me on a kill list. You get it? That is why. They're worried about congressional hearings, this technology committee, politicians, because that's what I'm looking at in order to survive if I don't get interviews. As I told these agents, it's option A, which is interviews, or option B, which is politicians and committees and hearings up your ass. The whole problem for them is, I get the agent and agency side of shit. So I can literally explain to politicians the inner dealings here with agents and agencies in regards to all sorts of shit, and how this program works and how they misuse this technology and what it's all about. Hello? Are you kidding? Oh, the FBI are scared shitless here. They don't want it. But the problem is they created these circumstances, not me. I just spent the last several years trying to explain myself to Germans here, while I've been tortured off the planet and people around me have been killed, and loved ones. Hello? Point is, I didn't create those circumstances. I have sought peaceful solutions here. You know, for the last few years, I've made a point here with the FBI. I'm like, well, you are with me the way these corrupt politicians are with Russia, trying to start war with Russia. You just think you can do what you want and have all this power, and everybody's just got to capitulate. Hello? And I said, you're as dumb as they are. Take a look. I said it to the FBI even recently. I said that you're as dumb as they are. Take a look. They're going to, just get the whole world destroyed. You're no different. You just think you've got power, and that just fixes everything. End of story. That's not reality. Hello? But getting back to the point, I can't explain this in detail and accurately, how this all works. Gang stalking is COINTELPRO, counterintelligence program. It is MK Ultra. Both are illegal as shit. Then you've got the Milgram experiment, the psychology involved with that. Everybody complies with authority. This is everybody's mistake with the FBI. You're seeing them as agents. And everybody does this, has them up on a pedestal. I used to also, along with my ex. And the reality is they're just balls to the walls criminal. That's how you need to be looking at them, as criminal. Because they fucking are. And the point is, I can point this out and explain it. And already we're off to 2 illegal programs here. 2 illegal programs compose gang stalking. And then you've got the whole thing with the Milgram experiment, the same psychology being misused. Hello? Everything about this is illegal. Programming is illegal. And they are using it for deceiving the public. Also, balls to the walls, illegal. You get it? So my point is, take a look at it from the viewpoint of the FBI here. And as I've said, they've got option A or option B. They're so fucking stupid, they're pushing it to option B. You get it? And they're like, well, we're going to keep you shut down. And I'm like, well, good luck. You're not keeping me shut down. I'm doing whatever it takes to have my goddamn freedom here. That's how that's playing out. You don't get to keep me in this because you're goddamn lying about me. Fucking forget it. That is your fucking problem. All right, so that's a sour note, but we're just going to have to end there. I am exhausted. So, it's extremely late, and I've just got tons to do. So, all right. I appreciate you looking at the videos, and the book should be finished, I think, in 2 or 3 weeks here, but I've got to contact him and ask. I'm guessing. It doesn't seem to me it's that complicated, but what the hell do I know? So, I mean, that's the point. I can't do that stuff on my own. So, but hopefully it's done here in 2 or 3 weeks. And I'll just keep people posted. If you understand things here, you understand that I am going through just, to say injustice, that's insanely inaccurate in terms of, you think of injustice as being one thing. This is way beyond that. So I would appreciate some help here. Because that's the final reality. They've got everything shut down with me. And you take a look at the plans here. They're gonna shut down everybody right around the corner here. You get it? At the least, you would be saving my ass. I'm getting out of the country, and once I do, I'm getting citizenship somewhere else. And then it's land and a house and, a safe place for my family in Germany. When shit hits the fan, they can move south of the equator out to where I am. That's my game plan. You get it? All right, that's it. I appreciate it. Thank you.